Close this. And then, oh, that looks so good! This looks great. This is a good
I think
idea.
this is
I like
cool.
This. I like this a
Nice.
lot.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about Tennocon a little bit, but we're not talking about it as much as our friend Minifig is talking about it. Minifig found our stream right after Tennocon. He was burning hot with the Tennocon hype, looking for something to do. Found us, and we found out that he was at Tennocon. We've been wanting to ask him some questions or just generally hear about it because we did not get to go. I really want to go. I think we're going to push to try to go next year. But I've got some photos from it, so maybe I'll ask some questions about those. I did see these two cosplayers so much, so I'm definitely going to ask about them if you saw them around. Before we get into that, give me an overall of Tennocon. Rate Tennocon on like out of 10.
I would say this year for me personally was about an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Okay.
It was interesting because the event itself is like 5-ish hours. It's a little bit longer, but it's like 4 different 1-hour things, and then like the big event at the end.
Okay.
So, and there's 2 different things during each hour segment. And so you have to choose which one you want to go to. So it was like, do I want to go to main stage? Or do I want to go to the workshop?
No, that's not cool. That's bad. That's bad. I feel like I would choose the workshop and then I'd be asking everybody for updates.
Yes. So
exactly.
That is cool.
So I was like, I'm going to go to the workshop ones because I can just look at the stream, like the ones on stream later.
Oh, true. That is a good way
That way I can experience the whole event. But that also meant like I didn't get to be there in person for a lot of those. So it was like,
Well, that's okay, you know, because we posted those on YouTube. We got the VODs for you.
That's fair.
Let me think.
I feel like it would be different if there was like 2 things, you know, that you can kind of. But if it was 4, that's a lot to kind of. That was going on at the same time.
Do you have?
Well, it's not 4 at the same time. It's like 2, then 2, then 2,
Oh,
then 2.
I see.
And then the main event didn't have anything going alongside it.
Yeah, so you're always picking until the end one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was basically 2 different stages. There was like the live stream stage and then the workshop stage, which was in like a side tent thing. And they weren't like as big. So it was like the workshop ones that weren't on stream. Let's see. The first one was like how to work at DE if you're interested in getting hired.
No way.
Second
I'm
one
in.
was
That's
like,
cool.
Yeah, it was really neat actually. They were telling about like you don't have to play Warframe to work there, but you do have to show commitment to Digital Extremes.
Right.
So like that was kind of interesting. The second one was the animation workshop where they showed off a lot of the behind the scenes in like how they do the animations, both mocap and just like video capture and matching. And they had a handful of people that were all in the animation team that were all showing off their video reels of them recording themselves doing animations. It was pretty fantastic.
That's so cool.
Of course, they're commenting on stuff like, yeah, and they told us, don't worry, this is only going to be on your PC. No one's ever going to see it. and then they just turn and look at the screen and be like, yeah, so here it is, 3,000 people.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
It's so good.
I kept seeing people in the crowd that had different things, like I guess you would call it like swag that was given out throughout the con.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna ask, do you have any?
Oh
Oh my gosh!
Bag. This is the free thing that you get for going there, right? It had a bunch of stuff that was in it. That was like these
Is there something
coins.
written on it?
Oh what? Wait.
No, nothing's written on it. It just has stuff inside it.
Okay.
It's just. Oh, actually, it does. I guess it does.
Yeah, I saw some. Okay, I saw that. That's cool.
That is sick.
It had 5 of these coins that were like, they've got like the little like void symbol on them that you would use in these like giant like ball like machines. It kind of reminds me of like the if you're like exiting like a Walmart or something and you see like all those little machines on the side that's like, oh, put in 2 quarters and twist it and you get like a random one of these like
those are
items.
those. It's like the IRL loot box. Those are really popular in Japan. Yeah.
Well, they had those, but they were like 10 feet tall. They were like, huge. So it was like really epic. And there was 4 of them, and they were for relics.
Oh my gosh!
Did you
no
want
way.
to spend? You had 5 tokens, I think it was, and you could use them on the Lith relics, the Meso relics, the Neo relics, Axii relics, and the Requiem relics.
What? That's such a cool way to do it.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So I got this, like, this is a Lith relic.
Look, Seth.
And it's just a relic from the game, and after you got it, you would literally crack it, and it would have something in it.
No.
Like all of these like little coins and stuff. It's like, oh
no,
wow. Like
that's so sick.
That's so
it's like an endo. Same thing with, I got an Axii. Like
Stop.
gold.
I love when they do things that you could like take home.
And the Requiem one.
Dude, that looks so cool.
Yo.
Like,
what?
Everybody was like, oh, I don't care about Requiems because in the game they're the least exciting. But like in person, like they look really sick.
Well, we just kind of got those. So
yeah, we just unlocked those.
It's exciting for me because I'm new to those.
Can you open it one more time and just show me the inside real quick what that looks
like?
It
looks kind of like one of those Easter eggs, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Like,
it's
this one looks like a silly putty container because it's like a oval, but most of them, the rest of them were all just like circular.
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting build. I wonder how they did that.
All right, that's the Easter egg.
How they got those together.
I want to go to.
What a cool idea! What the heck?
I ended up getting like, I didn't get one of each. I ended up getting like multiple liths, and I kept one coin.
Oh yeah, that was a good idea.
I want to go back next year and see if I can complete the set.
That's so sick.
That's so fun.
I wonder if people were like trading the empty ones as well. I feel like
they had a whole like section with like couches and stuff for people to like go and sit and wait. That was called like the trading center.
Oh, that's genius!
Go over there.
What?
Because they all had like a bunch of these different pins and stuff, right? So inside, it's like, oh, this one has like a cool like green Warframe pin.
Yeah.
But, like, some people got like 3 of those when they opened it up. So they're like, oh, well, I want one of everything. I don't need 3 of this one. So like, hey, I got 3 green ones. Do you have like a yellow one or something? It's like, yeah, I got like this little like one that looks more like a Corpus Locker.
Cool.
That is so cool. No, you're fine. That is awesome. Yeah. What the heck?
Wait, and I also just noticed the shirt you're wearing.
Yeah, this is the Warframe Mastery shirt that you have to link your account to the website to be able to get. You have to be ranked Master Rank 30 in game to be able to purchase the shirt.
You have to be Master
that is so cool.
Wait,
what? I didn't know they did stuff like that.
30. Because 30 is like the true master, right? Because your weapons, whenever you form them, you can then put mods in them up to whatever your mastery rank is. So once you're 30, you get a brand new weapon. It's basically a maxed weapon already.
Wow, so we couldn't even get that.
This is the shirt.
Yeah, no.
Looks like
that's the full fit.
Yeah.
That's
cool. That is so cool.
I think it does something in the back, too.
Oh, it does! It has his hand back there.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Let me ask about the cosplayers. We saw them on stage a few times, but we didn't really get to see them. How involved were they? Were they in a specific section? Were they walking around? What was that like?
So they had 2 people that were hired from a professional cosplay agency that were not part of the competition. And they were walking around constantly with a cameraman. So, like, there wasn't a lot of interaction with them, but there was a little bit.
Okay.
So, like, it was more of a, like, I think they had a section where, like, you could maybe go up and get, like, pictures and interviews and stuff, but you had to, like, wait in a line.
I
so
see
I
them
didn't really
here.
do much of that.
It's Alexandria Lee Studios. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that's them.
Maybe? I'm not really sure.
They did a great job, yeah. And then I see another fantastic. 2 cosplayers. It looks like one of them is from the same studio. It might be the same guy in a different cosplay. I'm not sure. And then the winner, I think, is this the winner from last year's Tennocon?
Oh, she helped.
I think she also helped host and was walking around.
Yeah, she was like the. She wasn't a judge, I don't think, but she was a host.
Yeah.
And actually, I got to. I was in her stream a little bit right after Tennocon. She actually does streaming on Twitch.
Oh.
Yeah. And she actually gave a bit of clarification into what all went on at the Tennocon contest on her stream, which was kind of interesting. Because there was a bit of, I don't know if you saw, there was a bit of like in the chat, the rage about like, oh man, this guy spent 3,000 hours making this cardboard necromech. And then like this Ureli gets up and twerks on stream and wins the whole thing. And she's like, all right, so cosplay is not a costume contest. It's a costume and like actual performance contest.
Yeah.
So like she did a lot of performing.
Yeah.
And it's also the costume section is graded on the different types of things you add to your costume. So like she had metal design, plastic design, cloth design, paint design, and his thing was like 90% cardboard and an LED.
Yeah.
Like it was a cool costume, but it wasn't like actual like cosplay standard.
Yeah.
Wasn't
I'm kind of glad she went into it, because Seth and I, when we've watched that, we had that same kind of like, I'm shocked she won, but we've never seen that frame before. But recently, after Tennocon, then we were kind of introduced to her a little bit. And then, so when I saw how she acted and saw the bubbles and everything, I was like, oh, now I know the Warframe. Now I understand it. I was like, she did an amazing job.
I was also going to say, a lot of our chat at the time were saying that she was the perfect person for that, because she was like being jokey and kind of like pranky kind of thing. So it seems like she kind of had the right personality for it.
Yeah, she did fantastic. Good. It was really entertaining. And she was walking around during the con as well with that outfit on, which was like pretty cool.
So
and she's really friendly. She'd be like, "Oh wow, how long have you been playing Warframe?" You like just chatting everybody up.
Oh, that's awesome! Hell yeah! That's so definitely cool. That's a good way to score some points before the event as well, I'm sure. So question for you as well, with the 1999 stuff that we saw on screen, you're saying that you leaned more towards the workshops and stuff. Were there things that they were talking about at the workshops that maybe they didn't talk about at Tennocon? Like the live portion?
Not for the 1999 stuff. That was all just the final event for the most part. Like there was some like photo opportunities around that you've probably seen stuff on Twitter. People like took photos like with the motorcycle, or you could take pictures like in like the operator zone or the arsenal. There's like a few of those that are kind of cool, but there wasn't actually a lot in the workshop section that was about that, because if I remember right, it was how to work at DE, it was animation workshop, it was there one on how to build a story, and then I don't really remember what the fourth one was, because that was the one I took off to go actually eat before the final event.
Yeah. How to build a story. Man, I would like to be at that one. I just kind of like hear their process, because they honestly, it feels like every story that they do, it feels really short gameplay wise, and I don't know if that's because Jasmine and I are just, such gamers that we're able to just cruise through, but a lot of the quests feel short, but they feel so impactful world-wise, which is nuts. Like the one we just did with Tempestari, that actually was like, you know what I mean? Like it felt important. Yeah. We got to experience the Void some. We got to play as the Shadow. That was so cool. That was a great quest, even though it only took 30 minutes?
Yeah.
So. I think it's also really funny. They've started to realize it's like, how do you make something like really stick with the community? You put a song in it.
True.
And now everybody is going to be hyped whenever that leads into it.
That's so true.
With online, I'm ready.
I am so ready.
I'm surprised really Jasmine hasn't been playing that in the car when we go places, but I'm sure that's coming.
I don't know how much you've listened to that song, but it's like, at one point they're like, the boys are back and they're all in sync. And I'm just like, no.
No.
I never noticed that. Wait, now I have to re-listen to it.
It's fantastic.
So, with Tennocon Live, we got to see a lot of the devs. Jasmine and I got to see them for the first time.
It was our first time experiencing them. Yeah.
How involved were they at Tennocon? Were they walking around? Were they interacting? Did they have tables? What was going on with that?
So I'm a little bit upset with so it was a 2-day event this year. This is the first time they've done a 2-day event.
Really?
Day one was basically wait in the line to get your badge, to get verified, and then to wait for merch. And then there was supposed to be an after party, and there was an after party. But the person I was going with, like I was staying at his house in Canada, I ended up he felt really bad after like the initial like entrance, so we didn't get to stay for the after party.
Right.
But a buddy that we made in line did, and he kept on sending us Discord updates of like DE Rebecca, who voices like the Lotus and like the creative director, was walking along the line because the line was way longer than they anticipated, and like cheering all of them on, be like, everybody got to meet Rebecca. I'm like, man, I didn't get to go to that.
With a torn ACL, she's walking the line.
Rebecca's the different
one. Sorry,
Megan
Rebecca. Sorry, I'm thinking. I'm thinking of the wrong person. You're right. I was thinking of Megan. Okay.
But that's so cool that she did that.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
I feel like Jasmine and I saw that too when we were watching Tennocon Live. It seems like a lot of the developers are passionate and want to be there and want to interact with the, like they want to reap the rewards of their effort. They want to see the people that are excited for all their effort, which is oddly rare in the gaming space. I feel like so many developers kind of space themselves out from their players, which is so awkward, but it seems like they do a great job of embracing it.
I'm actually curious if that's like partially like they only sell like 3,000 tickets and then it's sold out. So like,
Right.
I don't know if they maybe don't get like oversaturated. I'm not really sure.
I mean, that's a good point. I think doing that also helps with making sure that the people that are there really want to be there. Because I think with a couple League of Legends events that Jasmine and I went to, it was like, some college students from the area show up. They're like, well, what's going on? We might as well see if we can get in. Yeah. So, and I feel like that takes the energy out a bit. But yeah, it seems like everybody there is psyched to be there. And so that I think that definitely helps with the event.
Oh man, they are very excited to be there. The hype just in general, like I said, it felt like 5 hours, a little longer, but like that entire time, like you could just walk up to anybody and you know that they play Warframe. So it's like the hype level was really high. Just being able to talk to anybody, be like, yo, what's your favorite Warframe? You can start a conversation with literally anyone. And then oh my gosh, the final event, the actual stream, I did watch a little bit of it later. It didn't capture like half of the crowd hype. The crowd hype was crazy.
Oh my gosh. We said something about that.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe they were just short on cameras, or maybe the cameras were mounted in a way that they couldn't turn out towards the crowd properly, because it did seem like they were doing like a quarter turn and you could see across the first couple of lanes. But I think what did help with understanding how hyped people were, you had a lot of the crowd kind of like calling out to the devs on stage, and they would interact back, which was a good sign too. Because you see those ones from BlizzardCon and stuff like that where somebody yells something from the crowd and they get shut down. It seemed like they were playing into it a lot more than just kind of like moving on.
100%. They were riding along with whatever the energy was a lot. It was really funny because I don't remember what was his name. The guy that like at the very beginning of Tenno Live came out and like got the crowd hyped up for everyone coming out on stage. He started something that like lasted the entirety of Tenno Live, because they gave out all those like little light sticks that you saw everybody.
Oh yeah, we saw those. Yeah.
Had that helps a lot, because like you could tell that everybody else was also participating like in the crowd. So you'd look over and you'd see everybody with them up just like chanting.
I love that.
Oh, let's go.
I love that.
You're going, Pablo, Pablo,
Yeah.
Pablo. Oh my gosh, it was so funny.
Funny story.
And then whatever, it's like Pablo at some point suggested like, oh, what about we give out a 1 million plat? And like the devs are immediately like, no, we're not doing that. But, like, the crowd started going, Pablo, Pablo. And then later, whenever Megan was like, yeah, so here's the thing for our giveaway for $10 million. And then she's like, oh, I mean plat.
I remember when she was there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we saw that. We saw that.
She slayed when she did the demo.
Oh, yeah,
like,
she did so good on the demo.
It was so good.
Dude.
Before we get too far away from Pablo, I do have to say this was a little bit before we had met you. Jasmine was talking about her experience with Warframe on Twitter and had no idea who Pablo was, and is just replying to him in this tweet, just back and forth. And he was just so casual and nice. We thought he was just another fan of the game.
Yeah.
And then Jasmine's like, wait, Pablo is like the man.
I didn't know, and he
really is.
He was talking to me, and he followed me, and then I was just like, hey, yeah, we're new Tennos, like, can you give any advice?
Yeah.
And he basically was, just like, don't rush things, don't try to min-max, don't, like, just enjoy. And I was like, okay, Pablo. So every time somebody's in chat telling me, I'll be like, Pablo said. Pablo said.
It was such a cool experience too, because like that had happened, and then seeing him at Tennocon Live, it just like, it made it a little bit more real. It was like, oh my God, we just talked to that guy online, which is crazy. And
it really says a lot about the dev team too, that they're not like, they're at that human level, like they don't put themselves on some pedestal. Like they literally, like you said, Rebecca was just hanging out with everybody in line and like things like that. Is so cool. And the fact that he was just casually talking to me, Pablo, on Twitter, was so cool. So You could tell they really care about their community. They listen. They seem like they listen a lot to what y'all want. And I'm so excited to be a part of a game and to be involved with a dev team that cares that much.
From what I'm understanding, the first day was super hype and fun. And then the second day was like a little bit of business with the fun happening at the same time. Like they were really kind of, everything.
Opposite.
Oh, okay.
I would say, so first day was like, the first like general like time section was get there, get your badge, get your merch.
Right.
And then they had like an after party.
Okay.
And then the second day was like the day that had like all of the events and ended in Tenno Live.
All right. I got you. I understand then. So with those events leading up to Tenno Live, you said you had to pick the workshops and that sort of thing. What were the booths like? Were there booths, things that you could do in between those events? I don't know if they had maybe, like you said, they had merch. Did they have a section for like if Jasmine and I wanted to 3D print some stuff and sell it there? Did they have booths and things that?
Oh, they didn't really have any.
Set up
the only
anything?
sale stuff was in the merch shop.
Okay.
All the stuff in like the side, like the other tent that was where they had like where you could open the relics and stuff was it was all free. They didn't have any transactions other than you could buy drinks. There was a spot that you could buy drinks. They actually had like drink tokens. So like you were given 3 drink tokens, so like for alcoholic drinks. So like nobody was getting wasted. Unless I guess your friend could maybe give you some, I don't know. But
I kind of like that they did it that way because there are some people that can get a bit too drunk at cons and stuff. So I like that.
I mean, for the conventions we've been to, it's weird sometimes because like the convention has such a feel, and then Jasmine and I will go to like the shop area where you just have anybody that signed up to sell stuff there, and it's such a wide variety. It feels like a open air Saturday shop or something. Like Artist Alley kind of thing.
There wasn't really any of that.
That I kind of like that they didn't do that actually, because that kind of makes it keeps it focused and everybody doing the the same stuff.
Well, usually at cons like this, they don't do that.
Yeah,
like, it mainly
no,
is
I understand. I just didn't know if they had that available because I figured that if they did, then maybe they would have some kind of approval thing or something like that.
Look at them on the picture, dude. I'm saying Megan and Rebecca are hot AF. I'm just saying.
Yeah. They're slaying out there.
They're slaying so hard.
You know what Rebecca is giving in this photo? She's giving Naomi from Matrix.
Wait, do you know who they're giving?
I was a little starstruck, I will admit at times. Megan was actually like 3 people in front of me in line for getting into the con, and I was like too nervous to like say anything. I was just like, everybody else was talking to her. I'm like, I'm gonna just be here to appreciate the moment.
Okay, I gotta show.
It was crazy. She felt like a celebrity, right? But like she's not. Like,
yeah. It's cool how like when everybody in an area knows a specific person, it kind of elevates that person. You know what I mean?
True.
Whereas if you ran into her at a coffee shop, you might be more inclined to be like, "Oh my gosh, aren't you a dev for Warframe?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Whereas if you
100%.
run into her there, she's like, you know what I mean? She's way up on this pedestal.
Higher, you're right.
Yeah.
Can you go back to that picture that you showed?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you gonna compare it?
So I don't know if you know the song, like all the things you said, running through my head. You know that song?
I mean, I know that song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, they literally look like them. Look.
Wait, no way. Wait, they're switched, but
am I right?
You gotta click on it or there it is. Yeah.
Like
they look those two look like a younger version. What if it's them?
Looks like literally when I saw them, I was like, wait, like they kind of give me that vibe.
Well, getting back on track here, Jasmine, do you have any other questions that you can think of?
I think I pretty much I know I'm right. I know Aussie. I literally instantly thought that. Stop, the fan art is so cute for Tennocon. I saw some stuff on my Twitter. It's so cute. People were drawing Steve with the Kirby hat. Like they drew him.
Oh yeah. The Kirby hat. He wore that during the dev short recently.
I loved that.
Also, he said, I don't know, I did want to ask you this. He said that he had gotten the C word. We can't say it because we're posting this to YouTube. He got the big sick from 2020 from the event. Did you get sick at all or know anybody that got sick from the event?
actually sick. Yeah, well, I got a little bit sick. I didn't get that, but I did get like just the general funk.
Okay, yeah.
I first I thought you were gonna be talking about the meme. Everybody had the little pink like
Oh yeah,
neck thing.
I saw that and I noticed that on your headset. Is that something like attached?
Oh no, that's just my headset.
Okay, well, it just looks the vibe. I'm just saying on stream.
Yeah, on camera it does come across that.
It kind of looks like
red, but it's a light. So, but
that's cool.
at the con, there was somebody, I don't know exactly who, because I didn't actually get to interact with them, but was giving out like the little like Nidus, like little pink like space stuff.
That's cool.
And like it was weird because in line you saw like one person and then 3 people, then like 15 people had it, and it was just like spreading, and I'm just like, this is really funny. And like Steve, I think, ended up with one of them, and like it went all over the place. Like on day 2, you would see like half of the people had one. I'm like,
yeah, it looked.
Whoever did that was a genius.
Yeah, they were really smart. I saw the materials that they used to make it were like, overly simple, but you could instantly tell what it was.
Like a pom-pom and a pipe cleaner.
Yeah, exactly. Easy to replicate, and then like everybody there knows what it is. It was such a good idea and design choice.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and they would just bend the pipe
you just wrap the pipe cleaner around, spread out. You've been infected. That was so cool.
I think that would be like a fun thing, like just as a person, just to like be like, you're infected.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, hand them out at the con.
Included in a group.
Yeah, that's so fun.
I do want to ask a bit about Soulframe. We saw some things about Soulframe during the Tenno Live event, but we didn't get to see a lot. Was there anything else going on at the con involving Soulframe?
So the actual like during the live stream, the Soulframe was one of the ones that I missed while I was getting lunch, so I didn't actually end up going to that one.
Right.
And I didn't see anything else happening at the con related to Soulframe.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
I don't really have anything up for you there. I did play it a little bit last night though.
Oh heck yeah!
That's
trying
cool.
to figure
I'm so
out the
excited
general hype and that thing for it. When they kind of started with it from our point of view when we were watching, because that was like one of the first things they covered. So Jasmine and I were just super hyped about it, and we're still hyped about it. So we're looking forward to that.
It looks like it's going to be good. Right now, it does feel very pre-alpha, not a lot going on. So, like, I wouldn't be too upset about not having access right now. I think having access in, like, half a year would be a lot more hype.
True.
You're probably correct.
Jasmine, did you have any questions?
I had some close-off questions that I've been kind of keeping in my mind for chat. If you had any more questions you wanted to ask before that?
No. Minifig, anything else you wanted to talk about before we ask chat? If you're comfortable, I'll allow chat to give us some questions as well if they have any.
I'm down for some questions. I think I only had one other tidbit to mention.
Sure,
Okay,
please
go
do.
ahead.
Pablo tweeted out that he was going to be leaving a notepad somewhere in the con, and that people could write in it any suggestions or things that they had for him. And my buddy and I actually found it, and he like wrote in something about, he's like, buff the health of the excavators in Steel Path.
Like, that's
giving
so
like more
fun.
Oh God, please buff the health of the excavators.
At the con, it was like fantastic. It's just like sitting there with a pen next to it, just next to a hoverboard, and it's like looks very unassuming unless if you saw the tweet and knew what it was.
Yeah, I can't believe nobody took
that.
I feel like somebody would have walked off with it.
Yeah, no, everybody was very respectful, and there wasn't even a line for it.
That
so
just says like so much
one
about
or two
the Warframe
people at a
community.
time.
Yeah, that says a lot about the Warframe community, that nobody there was nefarious or did anything weird with it. That's great.
Yeah, it was fantastic. A lot of people drew in it. They brought like their own different colors of pens and stuff. Pablo actually showed it off a short video on his Twitter later of him like going through it. He's like, so I'm like about halfway through this. I am reading everything.
Oh
you know
my
what?
gosh.
I think I did see that tweet.
Did you?
Of a notebook that he did take a picture. I think I did.
Cool.
I didn't know what that was.
That's really cool.
That's what it was.
Oh my God, I think I did.
What a cool way to get feedback. Damn.
Dude, I love that. That's so you, like a little
funny.
Easter egg thing.
Yeah.
I love
That's
that.
awesome. Yeah, a quick story to that. I leave a note at every job that I have had in my entire life. And I just put it in a place that's really hard to get to. It's normally like Seth was here and like one tip about the job, and I just put it up somewhere.
And it's just like randomly like on the ceiling
One time,
or in a corner.
Jasmine and I were out one day and we saw one, and I was like, it's still there. Look, it's up in the rafters right there. That piece of paper.
Yep, it's still there.
That's great.
If anybody from chat has questions or things that they would like to ask Minifig, please do. Otherwise, we'll be letting them go.
Yes.
Throw them in chat. Jasmine and I will sort through them. What do you
These
got,
were
Jasmine?
some of the questions that I kind of like kept a mental on. And you can they're short questions, so I could just ask them all at once and you can answer them.
Sure.
How long you've been playing Warframe? What keeps you playing Warframe? Like, what's your favorite thing? And what's your favorite frame?
All right. Well, I've been playing Warframe since day one of open beta, so about 11 years now.
No way.
Got almost 9,000 hours into it. Every item mastered and currently in my inventory because like farming plat and buying slots is like a job, but like it's
That
fun.
is crazy.
Chief, you have a new best friend.
It's a lot of slots, like I said, because it's like 750 items, I think.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
insane.
Yeah.
And what
My
keeps you-
favorite
yeah.
frame overall would probably be Volt because I like to go fast.
That's
And
crazy.
if you put on his capacitance augment, you can clear entire rooms. And he's also got invincibility shields you can put around things for defense. So he's kind of got basically everything.
That's crazy to me because that's such an early frame that you can get access to. So it's one of those things where I
literally a
like.
starter, right?
I feel like a lot of people enjoy
cool.
complexity and stuff, but I hear Volt as a favorite a lot, and I don't know if maybe it becomes more complex or maybe it's just a bad starter.
He's
I
the
don't
one that
know.
can throw the shield and also pick it up and walk with it.
Yeah,
right?
you can do a lot.
Yeah.
Jasmine was telling me that there was a lot of
He
tooltips.
relies on mods heavy, so I actually
Okay.
don't recommend him as a starter because you need good mods and have them ranked up to actually make him like into the good frame.
Oh, okay. Now that makes more sense.
And then what is your
Yeah.
favorite like thing of Warframe or what keeps you playing?
My favorite thing, it's usually actually like playing with new players and like helping them get along because it's almost like that feeling like I've been playing so long that the game is almost boring because I'm like overpowered, right?
Yeah.
But like helping a new player through something, I get to like see how they react to everything
Kinda
and
like
like
vampire
move
off 'em,
vicariously
yeah.
through whatever they're feeling. It's really, really satisfying. And then other than that, just like keeping it at 100%, it feels like really solid. It's a really good game. Actual like gameplay is fantastic, right? It's like the feeling of the motion. You have to hit so many buttons to like run into a slide, into a bullet jump, into a roll in the air, into the aim glide.
So
It's like
much.
you're hitting all these buttons to go as fast as you possibly can. It's just, and you're getting that feedback. It feels really good.
I will agree with you. It is such a cool feeling to kind of do like these like almost fight combo type things in a first person shooter while trying to maintain aim, while trying to, you know what I mean? Like it's like the spinning plates thing where you're keeping all these plates spinning while also doing some acrobatics. It's a lot of fun.
So T Dreamer
100%.
wanted to know, is it Volt or Volt Prime that you're using?
I mean, I'm using Volt Prime, but like the primes are like a 15% increase, right? Like they don't usually add a lot. Some of them add a bit more. Like someone's like, oh, this gets plus 100 energy. It's like, whoa. But like most of them aren't that big of a difference.
Oh, that's
Interesting.
interesting. We
I
didn't
do
know
have the
that.
Prime.
One other question from chat here. They're becoming more personal and less about Tennocon, which I love.
That's fine.
They want to
fun.
know, what frame do you not like?
That was Miss Queen that asked that.
Do I not like?
Is there one?
Just don't. I mean, right now, I'm kind of sad. Actually, I used to like Oberon, but right now he's in a really, really bad spot. He basically does nothing. He doesn't deal any damage. He doesn't heal any health. He doesn't really. None of his kit does anything right now.
Interesting.
He really needs another rework.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know if I know that frame. Do you know that frame?
No, I actually don't know that one.
So what
He looks
kind
kind
of
of like a deer thing. They said he's supposed to be a paladin. He looks like a druid. He has health regen, but it like regens health at old damage levels. And now damage is so high that like the amount of health regen that he gives isn't enough to keep you healed.
That makes sense.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look into
power
that
creep
one a
left him
bit.
into the dust.
Another question from chat: most disliked grind in the game.
This is
I'll
Captain
also
Fun's
say,
asking.
for anybody watching, the grind for this game has been greatly improved. Jasmine and I had to do a couple grindy things that we were told about, and leading up to it, I think a lot of people in chat thought it was going to be way worse than it was. And then as we were doing it and commenting on how it was not as bad as we thought or as bad as people explained, we were told that things have been updated so that the grind is easier now. But I guess since you've been playing so long, I'm just saying that because I don't know if what you hated the most then might be different now. But what grind do you enjoy the least?
For me personally, I don't really like Deimos, which is a bit of a hot take. A lot of people love Deimos. It's big open world. Something about it's like dark stuff and like having a build that can survive good enough makes it like really boring because like all the infested are just like mostly melee with a little bit of spitting, and it just feels like I'm falling asleep every time I go in there.
That's an interesting
like,
take. I
Yeah.
before you finish, I'll say that I have red green deficiency. So when I'm there, it messes with me so much. Deimos
yeah, you
makes
do
like
complain
my
about that.
eyes so tired so fast. So I don't know if maybe that's a part of the tired feeling that you're feeling as well, because I know that definitely affects me quite a bit. But go on,
I
what
think
were
I
you
have
saying?
that, but like it might be a little bit of that as well. Of like all the colors do kind of stay the
Yeah.
same. The enemy color is the same color as the walls. That might be a bit of it actually. I hadn't thought about that.
Kind of numbs the
I was
brain a
gonna
little.
say the other grinds. I was like, I currently am still struggling with the keeping enough void traces to keep my relic grind available, and then grinding for the relics. Like, I agree, it's a good grind, but man, having done it this much, it does start to get a little tedious.
I have to
Yeah.
agree. I feel like for us, because we're so new, that the relic system is something we like. I have never played a game that has.
I'm really
like
impressed
that.
with it.
We
Yeah.
love it, but I could totally understand with as long as you've been playing, how it might be
Yeah.
like,
Well, it's also like for me, right? All I need is whatever the brand new thing is that just came out.
True,
Which I
yes.
don't have any relics for. So I have to go farm the mission and hope I
Oh
get the
yeah.
right relic to farm that new item. Because I
That's-
don't need any of the other ones, because I already have all of the
True.
other ones.
That's interesting.
So
I
just hoping to
actually
get that.
didn't know that they released new relics with those new things. That makes sense though. I figured personally from like, so I'm also working on a game. If I introduced a new item, I would just like tag it on to a lesser used relic or something. You know what I mean? Like when you're a developer,
So that's
you can
actually how the game used to function.
yeah. 'Cause-
Before Relics, they had these things called void keys,
Mm.
and it was just like
Oh.
in that was this giant list of like all like 50 items that you could get from either like the like tier 1, 2, 3, or 4 of it,
Interesting.
depending on which void key you're using. But then it becomes a different thing, right? Like you can't narrow down what you're farming for. You're just getting
yeah.
something from a list of 50
True.
different items and hoping you get the one you want. And more likely than not, you're going to get these 40 and you're never ever going to get these last 10 just because of how RNG works.
And so
So
remember,
this
like
is
when
actually a better system.
I first started doing the relics, I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, why didn't I get one of the 3 items that are right there? Like I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was just giving
Yeah,
you
you
one
don't
of
get to
them.
choose.
No.
Well, I think a system that could be considered on their side. I know they have statistics of like what relics are being used and which ones aren't. So I feel like if they come out with a new item, maybe they find a way to like slot an item from the one that's not used onto either a new relic or another lesser or more used relic, and then put the new item on it.
I think that the way they're doing it is fine.
Oh, absolutely.
Whenever they come out with a new item, it has like the new stuff, and sometimes whatever just got unvaulted will be on the new relic. So it's like that's why you have like an M14, right? Because there's probably 13 other M relics. Like and it's always named after I think like the rare of the relic. So like if it's an M, it'll be for like Mesa or a Magnus or like whatever starts with an M. So it's like they keep it rolling pretty well. It's just that the grind does start to get a little bit annoying after you're like caught up. But like early on, I feel like no matter what you get, it's like, oh, that's something I don't have. It feels fine.
True.
Chat, if
That's
anybody
true.
has questions about the Tennocon, anything you want to
Yeah,
know,
any more questions,
let us
guys?
know.
You can ask whatever.
But I think we are wrapping it up. This was actually super
yeah, this was
interesting.
fun.
Holy cow. Yeah, this went way better than I thought it
fun
was
too.
going to go, especially since we kind of did it a little bit impromptu. But thank you for working with us on it and allowing us to ask you these questions.
It was my pleasure. It was really fun.
And you know, guys, this is this minifig, so feel free to just at them a bunch and ask them questions in Discord and in chat. Just bombard them.
It's fair.
Sloppy, is that a question for Minifig? Because I'll definitely ask that one. That's interesting. Sloppy says, what do you think about Dark Sector as clan war? What is that? Well, I don't know what a clan war is. Are there clan wars in this game?
Man. So there used to be. So the dark sectors where it's got like those infested missions on every planet, there's like a defense and a survival mission.
Right.
It used to be clans could go into the solar rail section of their clan dojo, build a solar rail and a bunch of those like phase specters and stuff you get, and like log them in and start an attack on one of those. And whichever clan currently owned one, every time anyone ran the mission, they would get a percentage of the credits that person. Those people
no way! That's
just,
so
like,
sick.
Build up your credits for your clan.
That's so cool.
That's sick.
It was really fun.
That's cool.
And that was actually fun PvP because that was back in Movement 1.0.
Yeah.
So in that, like, there was no bullet jumping or anything. So it was actually you're able to like aim and shoot at people.
Right.
Whereas like now PvP is garbage because like you're bullet jumping everywhere and like where am I shooting at? It would not hold up now. But back then it was really fun. You would load up like a sniper rifle. There's people that would be like going in as Loki with black colors. So like when he uses invisibility, he would actually be pure invisible and just running past people to the objectives.
No.
It was very hype.
This was a
kind of missed it.
A good question from Emma. I mean, I can kind of answer it a little bit, but I actually want to see your take on it. But she said, I have a question. How was it for deaf people at Tennocon? Did they do anything to include them? I do know they had a whole separate live stream, right?
Yeah, I was going to say they had a
whole separate live stream you could watch. And they were ushering anybody who marked that on their ticket over to the left-hand side. Because there's like 3 different sections, right? There's like the right, middle, and left. And in the left-hand side, they had 2 different, like the hand like signing people that were like swapping out, so like neither of them got tired.
Yeah,
the entire time.
I did notice that.
Awesome.
Even watching ours that they were swapping out, which is a really good thing to do. I have seen some events where they just kind of smack it all on one person, and that feels bad.
Yeah, it does.
Because that is a lot of work to sign out everything like that.
But I thought it was so cool because that they had a whole separate live stream for it. Because I've seen other, like live streams, but they'll have the interpreter like literally on the same stream on the side. Like, and it wouldn't be a whole separate stream that's for, like dedicated to that. So I thought that was really cool that they cared so much and went out of their way to do that.
Yeah. Well, I think that closes it for questions. I don't see too many more coming in.
Thank you so much for this. This was fun. And thank you for giving us your look at Tennocon. I'm so jealous you got to go.
My pleasure.
Minifig, thank you so much. Hopefully we see you at next year's Tennocon.
Yes, we want to go.
Maybe, just maybe, Jasmine and I will have a creator badge or something when we're there. That would be
I hope
sick.
So. You guys deserve it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Minnie. We'll see you in chat if you
you have a good day. If you want to run some, let us know. We'll get you in.
Thanks, fam.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.
That was so cool. That was fun.